if I buy Paytm today at 542, I think it will go up to 1782 in 1 year, which means it will go back to the original price in 1 year. All this happened during a training session. So I said, you are talking of a 300% increase which has to happen for this to go from 542 to 1782. So you are talking of the price going up 3 times in 1 year, because that is the rate at which it has fallen. So I said, what is the probability of it going back to 1782 over the next 3 years? And he had no clue, because see, ultimately when you are working in the market, you have to work on the probability of an event happening, not to say no, I am emotionally, I like Paytm, I like Nykaa, and because it has fallen I will buy. That is emotional. Mathematically, can a share go back that much? So my very simple question is, how confident are you that the market will go up? The whole market has to go up dramatically for one share to go up so much. It's not always true, but it is true that even the market itself is not likely to go up by more than 8, 9%, 10%, or maybe it will just remain constant, or it may actually go down, because all over the world the markets have gone down. So good chances are all the money, including Indian money, will fly to those assets rather than be in an asset which is perhaps likely to do well, but the chances are the others will do a catch-up game and they will do much better. That brings us to this very simple question: when you pick up individual stocks, will you ever be able to guess the price to which it will go? We have all struggled with it, right? We have all struggled with shares which have remained constant, gone up slowly, right? But when something has come down so dramatically, and it is at 30% of the issue price, or maybe about 30% of the issue price approximately. The highest price that I have seen is 1782, and now today the price is 542. You are talking of the price being 1/3 of what it was originally. Look at it this way: if you buy an individual stock at 1782, the chances are it is now, and the thing is now it is 542, it can go lower, right? Nothing stops it from going lower, and nothing stops it from the company vanishing. We have seen very, very many vanishing companies, and if you take US data, you take Indian data, there is a lot of companies which are just vanished. Well, will that happen even with the index? The answer is no. The index will not vanish. The components of the index will change. In fact, there is dramatic change in the composition of the index, especially in the US. The rate of change of the index is now much faster than it was maybe in the 60s or 70s. So chances are, if you are an index investor, some share comes in, some share goes out, you don't even know, you're just indexing. Whereas with the Nykaa, you have to take a guess, what is the probability of the price going up so much and for you to recover. Then the data that, very many companies disappear. So will it go from 1782 to 542 back to 1782, or from 542 it will go to 54? That's also a difficult call to take. Now, that can never happen in an index. Hold on, I know you're going to talk about Greece in 2008 or Japan in 1960s and 70s, right? It is never, it could never recover. But normally the index will definitely not go on a one-way journey like this. Am I worried about the US index going down like this, or the Indian index going down like this? The answer is no. I'm not worried about a Greece or a Japan happening on India right from this date, right? We are still growing. We have a reasonably young population, so we still have time to have that kind of suffering. Not impossible, but I don't think it is it's something for us to worry about. But single shares, being able to gauge how much it will come down and how much it will go up, is a tremendous skill which very many of us do not possess. At least I know I do not possess. So when you ask me when a share goes up or when a share goes down, let's say the share has come down, let's talk about Paytm. It's down to 30% of its issue price approximately. So the question is, how much does it have to go up and how much time will it take to go there? This question is much easier for me to answer in an index than in an individual share. Therefore, it makes it easier for most people to guess what the index will do. They may be inaccurate, they may be wrong, but they won't, it will never, you can bet on certain things, like index will never go to zero, right? Index will never stop growing. At least I don't think Greece or Japan is going to happen in India. So given these kind of conditions, you are much better off in an index than trying to guess the price recovery percentage and time taken for an individual single share and whether at all it will. So if you enter a Paytm today at 542, will you keep a 10% stop loss if you're a trader, or a 30% stop loss if you're an investor? So another 150 rupees. At 390, what will you do? Will you have the ability to average? Will you have the patience to average? Will you sit tight? Or do you think it will go up from 542? Because everything is going to be tested. So let's say it goes from 542 to 642. Is it a good signal for you to get out saying, wow, I've got a very good return, so let me go out? Or are you going to say, I think it will reach 1782, right? You have to ask yourself all these questions before you ask me whether Paytm is worth buying at 546 or 542. Advantage with an index, I should read out this para, is out of the 28,853 companies that traded in US markets since 1950. 1950 is not very long back, right? It is, you're talking of only about 60-70 years. About 78% of the companies, that is 22,469, had died by 2009. They were just over. So only 22% of the companies survived. Of these, 45% were acquired or merged with other companies, while only about 9% went bankrupt and got liquidated. 3% were privatized, 0.5% went out of business, went to leverage buyouts, and another 0.5% went through reverse acquisitions. So you see, you're asking me a question that will this company be in the 78% or in the 22%? Mathematically, my answer would be 78%, right? Mathematically, the probability of 78 is almost 4 times. It's about 3.5 times greater than 22. So would I stick with 22 or would I stick with 78? It's safe for me to stick with 78 than with 22. So I'm very clear about the benefits of index investing. Of course, you can also pick up individual stock portfolios run by fund managers, which I find it's pretty safe to do, because I can't imagine the whole fund going to zero. A company going to zero, yes, possible. A Paytm going from 540 to zero, possible. Will the index go to zero? Answer is no. And moreover, once you very brainlessly decide that you don't have to do anything about the index, just keep doing an SIP in the index, or picking up a single fund where the fund manager decides which company will do well and which won't do well, and therefore he avoids them, the probability of you making money is much higher. But otherwise, be my guest, please buy ATM, don't buy Paytm, it doesn't matter. I don't have Paytm in my portfolio, but I'm just saying that the amount of effort that is required to be able to guess, will it go up at all, how much will it go up, how much time will it take, is far more difficult for individual stocks than it is for a portfolio. So I would preferably stick to a portfolio, and I would stick to an index, or if you are a little more keen, maybe to manage funds. Thank you.